told the people that next year we will fast Ashuraa in commemoration of the liberation of Bani Israel and Musa alayhi salam from Fir'aun. And he said, Khalif al-Yahud, he said, be different from the Jews, do not copy them, meaning don't just fast on the 10th of Muharram, but add on another day. Either fast on the Tasu'a, 9th of Muharram, or Al-Hadi Ashar, the 11th. That is why it is sunnah for us Muslims to follow Muhammad Sallam and fast 9th and 10th, or 10th and 11th. And why are we fasting? We're fasting to give shukr to Allah. In other words, it has been the sunnah of all the prophets of Allah that as a gesture of thankfulness, shukr, as a token of appreciation for shukr, we fast. So let's say you get a new job, new house, new car, new wife, always looking for one, new husband, all right? You get a new daughter-in-law, new son-in-law, whatever new you get, you can make a niyyah that, oh Allah, I'll fast on such and such day as a shukr for that new whatever you got. So it is from the sunnah of the Anbiya to fast as a way of saying thanks to Allah, that, oh Allah, thank you. And here I would say for the kids, if you get good grades, you get a 4.0 GPA, you had an excellent scholarship or something, you can also fast. Fasting is the lesson that the prophets of Allah gave us to thank Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala for the different things. So because the Jews in Medina were fasting, Rasulullah adopted that. He was not told to fast, but he saw that they were fasting, and he said that we are more rightful followers of Musa alayhi salam because we follow the same religion that Musa alayhi salam brought. Therefore, we are more deserving and rightful to fast, and that's how the Muslims, the Sahaba, Ridwan, began fasting on Ashura and Taswa, 9th and 10th. And the reward is the forgiveness from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala for that. Now, so in Muharram, Musa alayhi salam saved the Bani Israel from Pharaoh and migrated. In Muharram, Umar ibn Khattab anhu was assassinated and he passed away. He gave his life for the sake of Deen of Islam. In Muharram, another very big event happened many years after Prophet ﷺ passed away, and that was the grandson of Prophet Muhammad ﷺ, Imam Hussain radiallahu ta'ala anhu, that he was also assassinated and brutally murdered, not by non-Muslims, not by kafir, but our own Muslims. It can be noted as the civil war within Islam. And that is why the month of Muharram, when it comes, our brothers and sisters in Shia Islam, they begin to wear black clothes and black, cars, even, or black anything, as a gesture of sadness and commemoration of the sacrifice. And for us in Sunni Islam, as the hadith of Rasulullah says, that mourning or sadness is thalatha ayyam, 3 days. 3 days, 3 nights we mourn the death of anyone. And after that it is normal. But we do remember the legacy of Imam Hussain anhu and the sacrifices that he gave. And this was predicted, prophesied by our Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam. One time in Medina, when Hassan and Hussein were playing like little boys in the Masjid Nabawi, Rasulullah carried them in his hand, and he said, these two stars of my eyes, Rayhanatayya, the coolness of my eyes, these two will sacrifice their life for my deen of La ilaha illallah Muhammad Rasulullah. And he specially pointed towards Imam Hussain anhu when he was young, that he will be sacrificed to bring unity in Islam. Rightly so, the elder brother Hassan, Imam Hassan anhu, he was poisoned to death by the people of Baghdad, Basra. So he sacrificed his life because he gave up Khilafah. He did not claim to be the Khalifa. He did not want dissension and division in Ummah Islam. So he gave in and he sacrificed his life. Similarly, Imam Hussain anhu, he did not also give in to the demands of the oppressors. And he said that I will do hijrah, migration. Just like Rasul Sallam, his nana or paternal grandfather, our Prophet Muhammad Sallam, did hijrah from Mecca to Yathrib. He also did hijrah from Mecca to Kufa. His intention was to go along with his family all the way to Kufa, because the people of Kufa were writing letters and asking him, requesting him to come to Kufa, and we will support you. Because at that time, the Khalifa that declared Khilafah was Yazid ibn Muawiyah in Damascus. Just a little bit of history. You know, there were 4 Khulafa Rashidin. Abu Bakr, first Khalifa; Umar anhu, second Khalifa; third Khalifa, Uthman Ghani anhu; and then the 4th Khalifa, Ali ibn Abi Talib. After the assassination of Ali ibn Abi Talib, there was a division. One group of people said, or actually Muawiyah declared openly that he is now the right person for Khilafah, he's the Khalifa. While the other group of people, Muslims, said that no, Khilafah is something that you have to earn. It's a pledge of allegiance, bay'ah. So many people gave bay'ah to Muawiyah, and many people did not. The others wanted Imam Hassan, the elder son, to be the Khalifa, and so they gave bay'ah to him. But then Imam Hassan, after a few months of this dispute, he forfeited the Khilafah. He said, I don't want to be the Khalifa. I don't want the Khilafah. And he gave bay'ah to Muawiyah. After Muawiyah passed away, he transferred the Khilafah to his son Yazid. So now it's no longer a Khilafah. That's why it is Khilafah in terms of leadership, but it's not Khilafah Rashida. You know, Khulafa Rashidin, you hear that many times. 4 Khulafa Rashidin. Rashidin means from Rushd. Rushd means divine inspiration, divinely guided. All right, they're not prophets of Allah. They don't get wahi, they don't get revelation, but they're inspired divinely. And that's why it's known as Khilafah Rashida, because these 4 Khalifas came after Prophet Muhammad Sallam. And Rasul Sallam purposely, deliberately did not appoint his successor. Otherwise, it would have become nepotism, favoritism. He left it upon the Muslims that after me, you choose your leader. So therefore, right after the death of Rasul Sallam, the Sahaba Ridwan Ajma'in, they unanimously chose Abu Bakr to be the Khalifa. When Abu Bakr was passing away, he made a consortium of 6 people. He said, you choose the Khalifa amongst yourself. And they chose Umar ibn Khattab. Same thing with Umar ibn Khattab. He had a council of 6 to 10 people, and he left upon them that you choose your leader. And that's how the succession continued. But after Ali ibn Abi Talib, now the bickering and fighting began. And that is why one group was in Damascus, Damascus, which is Syria today, and the other group was in Kufa, Baghdad, Basra area. Ahl Baghdad and Basra, they claimed that the Khilafah should be in the family, Ahlul Bayt, family of Rasul Sallam. Hence they gave bay'ah to Hassan and Hussain. The Ahlul Sham and divided people in Medina, they said half went with Sham and half went with Baghdad and Basra. So this was the start of turmoil upon the succession formula. Now when Yazid demanded from the grandson of Rasul allegiance, he refused. He said, I cannot give you bay'ah. I have certain conditions. You have to fulfill these conditions. Then I would accept you as a leader of the Ummah, Khilaf. But because that rift continued, so the people of Kufa invited Imam Hussain to come all the way to Kufa, which is similar to the people of Yathrib when they invited Rasulullah back then from Mecca to Medina, to Yathrib, to support him. And Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala then ordained for Prophet Muhammad to do hijrah. Initially, there was no hijrah. He was not given permission. Many Sahaba were leaving Mecca. Rasulullah gave them permission. But he said, for me, when Allah gives permission, then I will go. Naturally, Allah gave him permission, so he then migrated with Abu Bakr during that big event, the Hijrah event, as we all have learned. Imam Hussain what he decided was that since I'm moving, doing hijrah from Mecca, I should not go alone. Let me take my whole family. People of Mecca warned him. He said, why don't you just go alone with some of your commanders, some of your people, confidants, see there, then can come back and take the family. But he said, no, I have nothing to fear, nothing to hide. I'm on haqq. And if I'm going once, I'm going with my whole family. So naturally, he had his wife, his children, his sister, the whole family was there, Ahlul Bayt, traveling from Mecca all the way. If you look at the map today, Mecca is here, Kufa is here. It's a big, long journey. In between Kufa and Mecca, there's a small town, small village, Karbala. Karbala. Karbala is very close in proximity to, it is in Iraq, still today it's in Iraq, but it's very close to Kufa and Baghdad and Basra, just a few miles outside. So Imam Hussain, anhu, he camped in Karbala to take rest, and he said, we will travel further to Kufa next day. But the next day, Yazid sent his armies and commanders to force upon Imam Hussain to accept bay'ah, allegiance to him. And he refused. Hence, a battle ensued, and the khayma and the tents were burned and attacked, and that is how different riwayat, historians have written. Obviously, we were not alive at that time, so we don't have eyewitness accounts. But historians have written, and there's some of them have written khurafat, useless, baseless things which are not even authentic. But bottom line, what is authentic is, yes, there was a battle that took place. And unfortunately, the grandson of Rasulullah was martyred, shaheed, sacrificed in the path of Islam. And that is why it fulfills the prophecy of Rasulullah where he said back then in Medina that this son of mine will give his life for the sake of this deen. Now the question is, we're not going into the controversy who's right, who's wrong, and what happened, what ensued. But the lessons that we need to learn here is the lesson of shuja', courage and authenticity and power and authority, that we do not give in to certain things in that aspect. Okay, sure. So the most important thing is to understand that why did this event happen? Why did Imam Hussain refuse to give bay'ah, allegiance to Yazid ibn Muawiyah? Why did he take his family on a trip all the way to Kufa, and in the way he was martyred along with his children and along with his women of the family? It's a very big event. But the lessons that we learn is that Islam teaches us to stand on haqq, on truth. Imam Hussain, anhu, he was on haqq, on truth. He had certain demands, legitimate demands, that he wanted from Yazid, which were not fulfilled. So one thing we learn as Muslims from the grandson of Rasulullah is that we should always stand on the side of justice, on the side of truth, on the side of haqq. We should never stand on the side of zalim, oppressor, and the one oppressing people and society. Point number one. Point number two, to learn from this event, that the family of Rasulullah, they gave up their lives for the sake of this deen. What have we as Muslims, 1.8 billion Muslims, what have we sacrificed for the deen of Islam? What have we contributed for the sake of this deen to be propagated? Why did Imam Hussain leave Mecca? He could have easily lived in Mecca and say, okay, forget it. I don't want to live a small, isolated, low-key profile life. I have nothing to do with politics. I have nothing to do with all this. Let me just live here. But no, he showed courage, camaraderie, authority, braveness. And he said, no, I will go with my family to show that this is my sacrifice for the deen of Islam. Imam Hussain is giving a lesson. Ashuraa or Karbala teaches us a lesson that do not bow down in front of dhulm, oppression. Do not give up your life in vain. Give up your life in contribution for the deen of Islam. That is why he fulfilled the prophecy of his beloved Nana, his beloved grandfather, Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, when he said that this son of mine will sacrifice his life for my ummah. This is what he said. For my ummah he will sacrifice his life. And rightly so, he sacrificed his life. He was killed or martyred not for grabbing land, not for authority or power. He didn't want power or authority. He never claimed to be the Khalifa. He never asked people to give bay'ah to me and I am the leader of the Muslims, or I am the grandson of Rasulullah, so you all have to obey me and follow me. Rather, he said, these are my demands that have to be met. This is on haqq, on truth. And rather, he showed that this is my contribution for Islam. So what we need to teach our kids, our future generations, is that this deen, Islam, demands sacrifice, demands contribution. We can't just say, La ilaha illallah, Muhammad Rasulullah, and then we feel that, oh, we are on a bed of roses. We're riding on the seventh heaven, high flying. The moment we say, Ashhadu an la ilaha illallah wa ashhadu Rasulullah, tests will begin. Trials will begin. Challenges will begin. And the first thing that we need to do to face challenges and tests and trials, sacrifice. We all have done our share of sacrifices in our deen. If you look to your lives, if you look to since the day you were born until your age now, each one of us has contributed to the deen in one shape and form or another. And sacrifice for the deen will continue until Yawm al-Qiyamah. Until Day of Judgment, this deen demands from its followers sacrifice, contribution. We sacrifice in many different ways. There are things that happen against our wish and will, but we let go of it, we ignore it, for the betterment of our families, to not create chaos, anarchy in the house, to not create rifts and disputes and arguments. We have sacrificed our hometown. We migrated. We came to this country. We have done a big sacrifice. We have built masajid. We sacrifice our money. We sacrifice our time. We sacrifice our body, our health, our physical. We donated our time, effort, money to build masajid, to build madrasa, schools, to build hifz program, to have a community. We are doing sacrifices all the time, and we have to continue to sacrifice to keep this deen alive. In other words, the message of Karbala is that deen is alive. वो उर्दू में एक शेर भी है ना शायद, दीन जिंदा होता है हर करबला, इस्लाम जिंदा होता है. Islam zinda hota hai Karbala. Translation, Islam is always alive from the lessons of Karbala. Regardless of whether we are Shia or Sunni, we all love Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam. We all love the grandson of Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam. You know, he is our crown of the head, you can say, Sarka Taj. So regardless of what faith we follow, bottom line is we all love Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam. We love his family, Ahlul Bayt. We love his wives. We love his, children. We love his grandchildren for the sake of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And the lesson, some people they ask, why did Allah take the life of the grandsons of Rasulullah? The answer for this, a great scholar from Pakistan gave once. He said the grandsons of Rasulullah gave their life in the path of Islam, in the sacrifice of Islam, so that on Yawm al-Qiyamah, no Muslim can stand up and challenge Rasulullah that, Ya Rasulullah, I gave my life, I gave my children for the deen of Islam. And Rasulullah will be standing tall and high saying, I gave my whole family for the sake of this deen, Islam. This is something to think about. Allah loves Rasulullah more than we love Rasulullah. Am I right or wrong? Think about it. Allah has proven in the Quran, shown in many different ayat, how much He loves Rasulullah. The pinnacle, the most highest ayah of the love of Allah for Rasulullah is in Surah Ahzab, Surah 33, where Allah says, Inna Allah wa malaikatu salluna ala nabi. Ya ayyuhalladhina amanu sallu alayhi wa sallimu taslima. Ek dafa durud sharif padh le. Allahumma salli ala Muhammad wa ala ali Muhammad kama sallaita ala Ibrahim wa ala ali Ibrahim innaka Hamidum Majid. Allahumma barik ala Muhammad wa ala ali Muhammad kama barakta ala Ibrahim wa ala ali Ibrahim innaka Hamidum Majid. In this ayah, Allah is saying, indeed, certainly, verily, Allah and His angels, inna Allah malaikatu, Allah and His angels send peace and salutations and greetings to Prophet Muhammad sallam. So you, O believers, Allah is ordering, it is a fa'il amr, fa'il of order. You, O Muslims, you, O believers, send peace and salutations on your beloved Prophet sallam. Yani if Allah just said over here in this ayah, Inna Allah malaikatu yusalluna ala nabi, if Allah stopped at this ayah, that itself, as the ulama of tafsir tell us, that itself is enough as an order for us to show love and respect in awe of Rasulullah to give durud, to send the durud Ibrahimiyya. But Allah made it a point to make sure that Muslims have no doubt, ambiguity in their mind, and He ordered them, Ya ayyuhalladhina amanu, sallu, pray. This is the pinnacle of love of Allah for Rasulullah and His family. The same Allah who loves Rasulullah so much, He made His Prophet go through so much sacrifice, so much hardship. Why did Rasulullah put 2 stones on his stomach in the battle of Khandaq, battle of Trench? Allah could have fed him. He's my beloved Prophet. Open the floodgates of fruits and vegetables and everything for them. He took his 2 sons, young boys, He took them away, took them in their childhood. He loved His Prophet. He would have let them live alive. No. Reason Allah is showing us that Rasulullah sallam led by example, role model example. He sacrificed himself, he sacrificed his family, he sacrificed his children, he sacrificed his comfort, he sacrificed his blood even for the sake of this deen Islam. What have we sacrificed? Every year in Muharram, the question that we need to ask ourselves, what have I given to Islam? What have I presented to Islam? What have I contributed to Islam? The legacy that shall remember us. After we die, people will pray janazah, they'll go and bury us in the grave. The only way will people remember us, look, this person contributed for the deen of Islam so much. Look how much they did for MCNJ. Look how much they did for the deen of Islam. That's how people will remember us. They won't remember us by the cars that we drive. They won't remember us by the houses that we live in. They don't remember us with the clothes that we wore. They won't remember us with the food that we brought in the masjid to share with people. The only way people remember us, legacy behind. What did this person, individual, do for the Muslim community, Muslim society, Muslim network within the locality of that area where they lived? And that's the question that every year Muharram asks us. Musa alayhi salam sacrificed everything. He took everything from his life for the service of the deen and to save Bani Israel. And that's why they used to fast in Medina. And so Rasulullah said, we should also fast. Imam Hassan, he sacrificed his life for the sake of authority. He said, I don't want authority. I don't want position. I don't want leadership. Let it go. Because for me, Islam is more important. For me, sacrificing my leadership, even though I may be rightful person and haqdar, legitimate person for this position, but I sacrifice this position for the sake of deen Islam so that there's no fighting and bickering. Each family member of Rasulullah sacrificed so many things for the sake of this deen. We also have to follow that legacy and sacrifice for the sake of this deen. Ibrahim alayhi salam was ready to sacrifice his son. Allah demanded, give me your son. He did not back off. He did not think twice. Rather, he threw stones. Till this day and until Qiyamah, people will keep throwing stones in Hajj to live the legacy of Ibrahim alayhi salam, that shaitan came to put waswasa. What are you doing? Are you crazy? You're a dad. You're going to sacrifice your son? Are you out of your mind? Have you lost your mind? You're crazy? In order to save himself, Ibrahim alayhi salam, he threw stones at shaitan. Get away from here. You are swaying me away from my resolution, my determination. This is willpower. This is determination. I'm determined to sacrifice my son for the sake of Allah. If Allah demands my son, I sacrifice myself. If Allah demands me, my life, I'm ready to sacrifice. This is the readiness in Islam. Muslims are never shy away from death. We're not scared of death. This is something that we have to program our brain. Muslims are never shy or scared from death. Look at the people of Gaza. They're seeing death for 10 months. thousands and thousands. Last count, 38,950 people. This is not the official, this is just the official number. Unofficially, maybe more than 100,000 have passed away. Allah knows best, Allah. They are seeing death every hour. Not every day, not every week. Every hour they're seeing people dying. Are they scared? No. In fact, they are mushtaq, ishtiyaq. Mushtaq means they are earning, they have a desire, earning desire that I should be the next. You might think that when people see death all around, bombs flying and everything, they'll get scared. They'll say, oh, I don't want to die, I don't want to die. It's the opposite. People are saying, when am I next? They say, Ya Allah, when am I next? The words on the tongues of the people of Gaza is, Hasbi Allah wa ni'mal wakil. Hasbi Allah wa ni'mal wakil. Allah is sufficient for me, and He is the best of protectors, the best of providers. What iman is this? What faith is this? Strength, resolve, power. The reason we as Muslims are not scared of death, because we know the ayah Allah said 2 times in the Quran, Kullu nafsin dha'iqatul maut. Every soul shall taste death. No human being on the face of this earth has escaped death. And as the scholars have written in Seerah, if there was anyone in all of humanity, from Adam alayhi salam to the last person born, if anyone deserved rightfully, respectfully to be spared death, it would have been who? Who? Our Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, because of the love of Allah for him. But Allah did not spare Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam from death also. Yes, Allah gave him respect in death. Allah gave him accolades, title. Allah told Malik al-Maut, angel of death, when you go to take the ruh, qabd the ruh of my Habib, Mustafa, Muhammad sallam, knock on the door. Seek permission. For every human being, every soul, every Nabi, angel of death came, took the soul. But the order, command from the Creator, Malik, Allah, was, O angel of death, don't you dare take the ruh of Muhammad sallallahu until you get permission. Allahu Akbar, Allahu Akbar. It's documented in the riwayat. Rasulullah was sweating, he was in fever, sweating, and he was lying in the lap of Aisha Siddiqah anha, and he moved, and Aisha asked, what happened, Rasulullah? He said, angel of death is at the door. She says, I don't see him. He sees him. He's there, standing politely, respectfully, honorably. When you give permission, Ya Rasulullah, I will come in. Allahu Akbar. When you give me permission, I will come in. Angel of death doesn't seek permission for anyone, no one. This shows you the love of Allah for Rasul. Yet he had his Rasul Muhammad go through so many challenges, so many hardships. He was born an orphan. He was in hardship, in poverty. He used to eat little because all his cousins, the sons and daughters of Abu Talib, would finish the food first. Some nights he would go empty stomach. Could you imagine Allah would have his beloved Prophet Muhammad go through hunger when he loved him so much? But he went through all of this. He went through all these hurdles to teach me and you a lesson. Deen al-Islam, deen demands what? Sacrifice. Today we get a small cut on the finger. Oh, we feel so painful. And there are legacies and histories of Sahaba who have given their blood in the path of Allah and never said, ouch. So the legacy of Imam Hussain and Ashuraa and Karbala is, we have to be brave. We have to have courage. We have to have shuja', never scared in front of tyranny, never scared in terms of zalim, oppressor, never scared from the hardships. Look at the people of Gaza. They are fearless, relentless, totally, because they know death is inevitable. Allah said that in the Quran, Surah Nisa. أَيْنَمَا تَكُونُوا يُدْرِكُّمُ الْمَوْتِ. The word yudrik, literally like this. Death will catch you. It's like a lion chasing behind you or a dog chasing behind you, and you try to run away, but you can't escape because they grab you. This is what Allah is saying. أَيْنَمَا تَكُونُوا. Wherever you will be. وَلَوْ كُنْتُمْ فِي بُرُوجٍ مُشَيَّدَةٍ. Even if you were in tall, lofty towers, you thought that, okay, if I'm on the top of this tower, death will not come to me. Allah is saying that. Even if you were in tall, lofty towers, yudrikkumul maut, death will catch you. Death will catch you. Angel of death will not spare you. Angel of death will not seek permission. Hello, excuse me, Jawad Ahmed, can I take your soul now? No. When the time is up, the angel of death will come, grab. The only person, only personality, only human being that the angel of death sought permission 3 times. 3 times, not once. Look at the respect. Ehtaram dekhiye aap, izzat dekhiye. Kya maqam hai, rutba hai, Nabi Pak Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam. First time he said, Ya Rasulullah, can I come in? Rasulullah said, no. I have to talk to my wife, Aisha Siddiq Radhiyallahu anha. हाँ इतना जल्दी आपको तो कहीं और जाना था आप क्यों आ गए मैं तो आज सुकून से था कि there is no Mufta Najib today but he has to come. So then he asked his wife Aisha Siddiq Radhiyallahu anha, excuse me, Fatima is waiting, because Fatima was waiting, Fatima the Zahra. Then Fatima came, Ridwan anhu, and Fatima Ridwan anhu, she carried the head of Rasulullah and she kissed him, gave him bosa, and she said, Wa karb abata, wa karb abata. Oh, I can't see the pain of my father. I can't see. He's in the pangs of that. Sakratul Maut, as we say in the hadith of Rasul. Everyone will go through Sakratul Maut. Some higher, some lower, some tougher, some easier. So then again, knock from the angel of death. Can I come now? No. I'm with my daughter, beloved daughter, Fatima Zahra. Wait. Subhanallah. Angel of death is being refused. Wait. Hold on. Because this is the best human being in humanity. My and your and our beloved Prophet Muhammad Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam. May our lives be sacrificed for Rasulullah Sallam. May our parents be sacrificed for the love of Rasulullah. This is something that the Sahaba used to always say in Medina, standing, sitting, walking, everywhere. Bi abi wa ummi anta ya Rasulullah. Bi abi wa ummi anta ya Rasulullah. This was a cliche, this was a slogan in Arabic. Everyone used to say in Medina, may my father and mother be sacrificed for you, ya Rasulullah. May my father and mother be sacrificed. I'm willing to sacrifice my mother and father for the love of you, ya Rasulullah. This is Deen of Islam. It demands sacrifice. And the Sahaba were ready to sacrifice not just their parents, but themselves even. They said, we are ready to sacrifice for you, just order. So the question in conclusion, before we have the dinner, is from every Muharram we need to learn, what have we sacrificed for Islam? And what will we sacrifice? What are we going to sacrifice? From this Muharram until next Muharram, what are we ready to sacrifice for Deen of Islam? The prophets of Allah were ready to sacrifice their sons, and they even sacrificed their sons. Rasulullah sacrificed his son-in-law, Ali ibn Abi Talib. He contributed his life. His sons, the grandsons of Rasulullah, they contributed their life. So we should be mentally prepared for death. We should never be scared from death, and we should always be ready to contribute for Islam in any way and shape and form. When people ask for donation, we should not think twice to take out money from our pockets. This is our sacrifice. We should be ready to sacrifice for the cause, for the need and demand. Whatever project the masjid is announcing, whatever project the Muslim community needs, we should always be ready to sacrifice, because money is nothing, time is nothing, health is nothing, body is nothing when it comes to the cause of La ilaha illallah Muhammad Sallallahu. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala could have given a very luxurious life to Rasulullah, free from any kind of sacrifice, free from any kind of trouble, free from any kind of pain, free from any kind of bloodshed and everything. He could have done that, but he did not. To show me and you and all Muslims until Yawm al-Qiyamah to come, to give them a legacy and lesson that look, I made my Prophet go through so much hardship. What is your hardship? What is our hardship? What's our stress? What's our tension? Our tension is, oh, I need money for that, I have to pay my bills. These are nothing compared to the tension and stress of Sahaba and the companions of Rasulullah. Our stress is nothing. This is like baby, childish thing. Our worries are nothing. Our concerns are nothing. Our concerns, when you sit down and you make a list, what are my concerns, what are my worries, the Sahaba would laugh on it. This is your concern? This is your worry? We went through 10 times more, 100 times more than that. Our worry was, how would La ilaha illallah Muhammad Rasulullah go to every household? That's what they said. Their worry was, how do we stand on haqq, La ilaha illallah Muhammad Rasulullah, in front of tyranny and oppression and dhulm of zalimeen? May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala accept our sacrifices and contribution. May Allah give us the tawfiq, give us the encouragement to sacrifice our lives. I always say this, all the companions of Prophet Muhammad sallallahu were converts, were reverts. They sacrificed their parents, they sacrificed their family. They were not Muslims by birth. They all accepted Islam after meeting Rasulullah. So they were all converts. And the biggest sacrifice that any convert or revert, like this brother will be doing, is they sacrifice their family. Family is non-Muslim. Family doesn't practice Islam. Family hates Islam. But the convert is in Islam. The convert, a revert, comes to the masjid, prays. And that is why we say that the Muslims in the masjid are ansar. They are the helpers. They are the caretakers, protectors of the converts. We need to provide strong support to our convert brothers and sisters so that they feel comfortable here in the masjid, inshallah. With that, we'll have the shahada. What's your name, brother? Nick. Brother Nick is going to take shahada, inshallah. You understand all the requirements of Islam, I believe. We believe in one God who has no children, no son. We believe in Prophet Jesus as a prophet of God, not as a son of God, right? We believe in akhirah, in life after death. We believe in day of judgment. We believe in heaven and hell, right? We believe in angels. We believe in all the books of God, although the previous books were changed. We believe in the Quran, the last and final message of God to humanity. We believe in Prophet Muhammad, peace upon him. Inshallah. So come here. You can grab this mic, and you can repeat after me. You can look over there. Say after me, inshallah. I'll repeat in Arabic slowly, and then you can repeat it slowly in Arabic with me, and then we'll do the English translation. You can repeat the English translation with me, inshallah. So, Ashhadu an la ilaha illa Allah wa ashhadu anna Muhammadan Rasul Allah. This is the Arabic part of the Shahada statement to enter Islam. Now we do the English translation of that, which is translation of what you just said in Arabic. I bear witness that there is no God worthy of worship except Allah. And I bear witness that Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him, peace be upon him, is the messenger of God. MashaAllah, takbir, congratulations. You are now officially a Muslim. Welcome to Islam. These brothers will take care of you, and we have classes here for converts, inshallah. You can join, inshallah. Now it's time for dinner. You can open the tarps, inshallah.